Good morning, everyone. I arrived in Perth last night and greeted with some bad news and some good news. The bad news is that the sailing season just ended and I can't find any club with any members who are qualified to take me out for some training, even on a private basis, which surprises me. I would have thought that would be good income for them, but it is anyway. The situation, season's ended. A lot of these yachts, I know they're out there on the water, but a lot of them now have been I suppose just laying up until the season begins again, which I think is October. So that's the bad news. I've come here to try and get some sailing in, and it doesn't look as though that's going to happen. The good news is I've heard back from a few of the clubs that I contacted in the UK and in Europe, in Croatia and Barcelona. And 3 of the clubs in the UK have said that, based on the information I gave them, my sailing experience, I was extremely frank, very honest, they felt that I was ready for the day skipper course, provided I had completed the theory beforehand. So that's good news. 1 or 2 other clubs thought that I needed perhaps to do a competency crew course beforehand, because the day skipper course does require that the applicant, the student, has some sailing experience. I, as I said, was very straightforward and told them frankly the extent of my limited experience, but I guess the hobby cat sailing has helped, and also my experience going out on keel boats 20 plus years ago, 25 years ago I guess, in Jakarta. So anyway, the club that I'm looking to go with is one that's limiting their number of students to 4 or less. Most of these clubs have 5 students. In my opinion, that's too many. I'd much rather have 3. And there is one that operates in the Solent area that has confirmed that they would, if I was to book with them, limit the number of students to 3. So that's good news. The other side to this story is that we've got a situation where I've got to complete the theory beforehand. The theory is 40 hours of study, and during this study process, it's online, during this study process there will be periodical assessments through short exams online. So I need to begin that as soon as possible, so I'm ready before I get to the UK. I'm planning the UK course around about September. Before that I'll be in Croatia, and I'll hopefully get some sailing in there to give me more experience before I begin. The day skipper course is 5 or 6 days and nights on board the yacht, full-time sailing. So now I'm here for 7 days or so with no sailing opportunities. Well, none that I can see at the moment. I'm going to make a few more inquiries. There is a place in Busselton. It's about 2.5 hours drive from here, maybe 3. Last time I was in Busselton, I was in the an Ironman competition. That was a long time ago. Can't remember when. I was in what category? I was in the 45 to 49 category, I believe. Yeah, so that would have been 10 years ago. I bought the book that accompanies the theory for the online day skipper course, and that is me 20 pounds, or 19 pounds I think it was. So that's it there. It's the book I bought. This is a manual to the day skipper course, both the practical and the theory. So I'm halfway through that. A lot of detail about anchorage and voyage and tidal systems. Oh, back to school. And in this book, every chapter there are a number of questions that you have to answer, just to measure your progress and whether you're absorbing the information. So I'm having to start taking notes, but it's what has to be done. I don't want to go into this half-heartedly. A friend called me and asked me why I was keeping a blog, a video blog, and he, in particular, there was no achievements to brag about, to showboat over. And I explained, well, there were two reasons. One, because it's like a diary for me, and a diary which I would leave for my family when I move on. If they want it, it's there. And also, it's a motivator. I remember when I was training for the Comrades Ultra Marathon, South African race, from Durban up to Pietermaritzburg. It's 90 kilometers all the way up. When I was training for that, I was keeping a text blog, which I was putting online, and I did that to motivate myself. I mean, you don't want to be seen as someone who's given up, and to friends. I mean, you're reporting your progress, and then one day there is no progress, and someone asks you what's going on, and it's almost like you're a failure when you say, oh, I gave up, it got too hard, or the great excuse is I ran out of time, or I couldn't make the time. I always find that a very convenient excuse, and it is an excuse, not a reason. I think we can always make time, most of us. Interesting, I've just come around to the pontoon. I was going to walk down one of the pontoons to have a closer look at the yachts, and I saw this marine safety information board, and I was just seeing if I could recognize any of the symbols after my studying of the theory. And I just noticed over here there's, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it says required safety equipment, recreational skipper's ticket required in protected areas. So there is a licensing law, I guess, here in Australia, which stipulates that before you can jump in your own yacht and go sailing around, you do, in certain places, have to be qualified. It's something that I wanted to look into in more detail, because unlike in, let's say, the UK, where you can purchase a car but you can't drive it without a license, it's my understanding that in most places you could purchase a yacht without a license and go off sailing. So I need to make some more inquiries about that. So I managed to find somebody at the Matilda Yacht Club. Finally, they said they would speak with 2 or 3 instructors who are around and do actually winter coaching. So that's good news. I'm persistent, if nothing else. So despite all of those negatives I was getting when I was making inquiries with the different clubs, it seems as though this particular club may be able to accommodate me. So I've now come into the Matilda Bay restaurant and ordered some natural oysters, some Italian crusty bread with some olives, and great views out there, the yachts. This is Whitworth's, the Marine and Leisure store in Leederville, Perth. This was a store that was recommended to me to come to purchase my gear, my personal gear, my full waterproofs, thermals, fleeces, hats, boots, shoes.
I'm going to give you a catalogue, so everything's in there.
Everything's in the catalogue. Okay, that's great. Selection of the shoe, the deck shoes these are.
Yeah.
So this is another jacket. This is a gill as well.
Okay.
I'm back now in Jakarta. I arrived last night from Perth. No sailing in Perth at all, despite the hopes that I was given by the Matilda Bay Yacht Club. They did not materialise. There was a gentleman at one of the boat stores I visited who did kindly offer to take me out as a crew member in a race, but that was not on the Sunday just gone. It was the following Sunday. I couldn't change my schedule, and so I had to pass on that, but I'm going to keep his name and for further reference and contact him the next time I'm planning the trip to Perth and perhaps join him. I did, when I was in one of the stores, I did manage to purchase another manual for the day skipper course. This is actually authorised by the Royal Yacht Association. So now I have 2 books to read before I begin the course. That's something I have to do very quickly. I have to enrol for the online theory course as soon as possible, and I intend to do that in the next few days. I haven't decided which one to go with yet. I'm concerned about the support that I might have from the tutors rather than from a computer. That's my mountaineering jacket, and basically what the mountaineering jacket and bib and brace do, they keep you dry and keeps the wind out, which is exactly what the waterproofs do. For warmth, you put on thermals and you put on underlays, but for waterproofing and for keeping the wind out, these are perfect. These are higher spec than the ones I was looking at because of the extreme weather conditions these are supposed to deal with. I also purchased this. Yes, it's a piece of rope, and unlike the book, which cost me $50, or was it $50? Yep, $49.95. This cost me $3, and I'm going to be using this to practice my knots. So I'll keep you posted on my next chapter, which will be finally enrolling for the online course and some more hobbycat sailing before I get myself onto a keelboat. That'll probably be in about hobbycat sailing will be in another two weeks or so. I'll go